hometown can have some sort of merit with them in a sports world. Because right now we look lost, especially with the Julio trade. I told you Trae Young was the new 11 in Atlanta. I told you that. But we get down to the nitty gritty. Giannis, 2-time MVP, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Should win this series, but I believe in Trae Young more than I do the Bucks, and I know Budenholzer should be fired regardless if the Bucks win this championship or not. If the Hawks win the chip, nothing will make up for that 28-3 Falcon Super Bowl. Nothing will make up for that. Nothing. Hey guys, what's good? Next show back at another video, and today we'll be giving our recap of Game 1 and for the Hawks and Hawks versus Bucks series, and we'll be talking about Game 2, and we'll be answering the question: who is more valuable in this series, Trae Young or Giannis Antetokounmpo? Marcus, I'll let you go first.
Thanks, Elisa. Them Georgia boys. Has to be them Georgia boys. Now, tell me at the beginning of the season, we thought the Hawks were going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't even think the Bucks were going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But Trae Young just proving
nobody had this matchup. And if you had this matchup, you're a lucky man or you're a liar.
Agreed. But Trae Young's proving that he's about to be an up and coming superstar, and it's evident. Almost 50 points, dropped the career high, and beat the 2-time MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis. Now, the question that Lisa asked: who's more valuable in the series? I know a lot of people are going to say Trae Young. No, come on. Y'all guys are living too close in the moment. Like I just mentioned before, 2-time MVP, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. And if we're going to talk about overall production, that overall production and who's actually the better player, I'm giving it to Giannis. Giannis is most valuable to his team. If we just let's talk about offensively. Both of them are scoring around 30 points. Are scoring around 30 points in the playoffs, whether it's Trae Young by the 3 or by Giannis with his post presence. So that doesn't really make him stand out. Although Trae Young has seemed to have higher scoring games, Giannis has stayed consistent over these past few playoff games, and they're both. I think Giannis averaging 29, Trae Young's averaging 30. 1 point difference is not making anything. And I think Trae Young stands out with his scoring because he doesn't have a lot of other scorers around him. But if we go around all-around player, it's definitely Giannis. Giannis, the better rebounder for his team. That adds more value than him. Giannis is the better defensive player. Now, during the season, the Hawks were a top 10 defensive team and just points allowed. And the Bucks were top 20. But when Giannis was off the court, the Bucks moved to bottom tier in defensive rating. And I understand they have Jrue Holiday, another amazing defensive player, but they jumped down to a bottom 20 team. But with Giannis on the court, they're a mid-level defensive team. With Trae Young off the court, their blocks go up, and their defensive rating only goes down by a little bit. Trae Young defensive presence is not enough to make him as valuable as Giannis. Trae Young is a great scorer. Trae Young is a great finisher, not better than Giannis. The only thing I'm giving Trae Young right now is his shooting, and maybe his clutch factor, and maybe his leadership. But come on now. And Trae Young also has depth player, role players that step up. You never know with Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton can go for 30 and then go for 10 the next game, including Jrue Holiday. So Giannis is really by himself. If we really think about it, Giannis is the most valuable player and one of the most valuable players in the league, the most valuable player to the Sucks, to the Bucks, has all more valuable traits than Trae Young. I rock with my Georgia boys. Don't get that wrong. And I rock with them.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Before I answer the question, let me just talk about Game 1. Let me just talk about the spectacular performance I saw by Trae Young. If I'm rating this game, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. 48.7, 11 assists, an 8 out of 10. Only reason Trae Young's not getting a 10 out of 10 is because he went 4 for 13 from the 3. But that's Trae Young.
He also took 34 shots.
I don't care. He shot 50% on those 34 shots.
He shot 34 shots and he scored 48 points.
Did they win the game? Yes. Did he shoot 34 shots and make 11 or 10? No. He shot 34 shots and made 17. Sounds like 50% to me. Sounds like average or above average to me. Come on now. But look, he wasn't the only one. John Collins is giving you 23 and 15. Capella's giving you 12 and 19 rebounds. And Kevin Huerter is pitching in with 13 points. But nonetheless, Trae Young is still the most valuable player on this Hawks team, and he's the most valuable player in this series. Let's not get that twisted. If Giannis is not on this Bucks team, the Bucks team is maybe a 9 seed, maybe a 10 seed. They're going to be a bad team because you're going to have Middleton as your best player, and Drew Holiday can argue for it too. If Trae Young gets hurt on this Hawks team, they're one of the worst teams in the league. Both of these teams would be bad without their number one players, but the Hawks team would be worse. Now look, they'd be down there with the Cavs and the Pistons and all them. But look, Trae Young, watch. This series, you're going to see. He's going to prove he's an upcoming superstar. That Luka trade gets better and better every day. It's one of the most balanced. Yes, stop it. That trade gets Luka, no fault to him. But Luka hasn't made it up the first round.
Luka, look at whoa.
First playoff series. Trae Young in his first playoff series is it's 3 wins away from the.
Who has better production? Who has better production? John Collins or Kristaps? Who has better production? Who has better production in the playoffs?
John Collins.
Okay. Listen. Who has better role players? Who has better role players?
That doesn't take away from the
Who has better role players?
The Hawks.
Who was hurt? Who was hurt? Who has nerve damage?
I know you see Trae Young.
Who has nerve damage?
Wrapping up his shoulder every time he goes to the bench. Every time he goes to the bench, Luka had nerve damage for 1 game.
So you think he just had nerve damage for 1 game?
He had nerve damage for, I believe it was game 3 or game 4, and he had about 13-something points.
He still probably got nerve damage.
So how did he drop 13 one game and 40 the next?
That's his greatness.
No, stop it. The nerve damage went away. It was a 1-game thing. It was a stinger. Stop it. Nobody has nerve damage in their neck and is dropping 40 points. Stop it. Trae Young's going to have to average north of 30 points, and he's going to have to keep up 10 points assist this game. And he's 100% doing that. Trae Young's confidence is unmatched. I know y'all see he shifted Drew Holiday. The Bucks need to stop going under these screens. Budenholzer, that's an adjustment you need to tell them to make. Or the Bucks players need to have the IQ and make that move themselves. But he shifted Drew Holiday. After that, he waits for Bobby Portis to close out. He shrugs his shoulders and shoots the 3 in his mouth. Bang. In the playoffs, are you kidding me? In the heat of the moment in the third quarter, are you kidding me?
That makes him more valuable than Giannis?
Yes. Trae Young is the offense. Trae Young is the offense for this team. Trae Young in this game scored or assisted on 72 of the Hawks' points. That is more than half of the points. That is about maybe 60, 70% of the Hawks' points came from Trae Young. I'm taking the Hawks in 7 in this series because I trust Trae Young more in crunch time than I do any of the Bucks players. And look at this. James Christian Middleton. There's no way you should be going 6 for 23 from the field and 0 for 9 from the 3. You had 15 points. And the shots you're missing aren't hard shots. The shots you make every game. Where did your offense go? The Bucks must have left their defense in Brooklyn because Trae Young was torching them. Drew Holiday, he found his offense, but he can't guard Trae Young. Come on now. I saw him guarding Mike James. I saw him guarding Kyrie. He was getting cooked by Kyrie, but he was still giving him trouble. He was still giving everyone.
Let me just tell you this. You brought up the fact that Trae Young, listen. You brought up the fact of Trae Young being most valuable because he scored an assist and half his points. Giannis was the second leading scorer on that team of the Bucks, and it was only by 1 point. Giannis also led this team in rebounds. Giannis was the second leading person in assists. Trae Young, when it comes to overall performance, we're talking about overall basketball. And I know it might look hype. He's carrying this Hawks team that you didn't think was going to make the playoffs, which is great for him. You're living in the moment. You think because Trae Young's carrying this team that he's all of a sudden so much valuable, come on. We talk about overall basketball player. I'm taking Giannis. Giannis rebound better. I already brought up the scoring margins. Trae Young, he looks good scoring. But Giannis still goes up 30. Giannis still goes up 30. Giannis still goes up 30.
Who has more skill and who's more dynamic? Trae Young or Giannis? Who has more skill and who's more dynamic with the basketball?
Who's the better player? Who's the better player?
Trae Young in this series will be better than Giannis. Giannis is a
guarantee. He will be better than Giannis. I will say that he will be better than Giannis, but that's due to the fact the superstars, the players that Giannis have are better than Trae Young in some extent. And the players that Giannis have compliment Giannis. I mean, the players that Trae Young compliment him more and step up more. That's why he have more points. With Giannis players, Drew Holiday will drop 34. Nobody on the Hawks is dropping 34, which leaves room for Trae Young to drop more. This is the same thing will happen with KD. It's
But
common. When Harden and Kyrie are in, KD's dropping a mere 30, below 30, maybe 20 point per game. When they leave, when you take away superstars and leave one superstar, he's dropping near 40, near 50. Same thing happens to LeBron, I think 2016. When you have players below average players or just average players and John Collins, Hurdy, I'm not taking anything away from them. But they're not players like Chris Middleton, they're not players like Drew. So when you have that and you have one superstar, of course, and his usage rate is as high as possible, of course he's gonna drop more points, and of course that's gonna look better. But when we talk about overall performance, who's the better defender? Who's the better rebounder? Who's the better? And then when we talk about scoring, they both average 30. So you can't even say Trae Young's a better scorer.
I haven't seen Giannis lock down anybody when Clint Capella is getting 12 points and 19 rebounds, and John Collins is getting 23 points and 15 rebounds.
Giannis who has Trae Young locked down though? We're talking about them two comparing. We're talking about comparing
Trae Young's offense offsets his defense.
No, it doesn't.
Giannis's offense does not offset his defense. Giannis is one-dimensional.
They both average 30. They both average 30. So how's Trae Young's offense offsetting his defense, but Giannis is not when they both average 30? Okay, Trae Young makes it look prettier with the three ball.
Trae Young makes up for it on offense.
At least they both average 30.
Which is why he's more valuable. If you take away Trae Young from this Hawks team, they're not even in this position. If you take away Giannis from this Bucks team, they're a bad team.
They're not even in this position.
They're a bad team too. They're not in this position either. But when it comes down to it, who elevates their team more, who can facilitate, who is better equipped to lead their team, and that is Trae Young. Giannis is not going to lead this Bucks team like Trae Young will, which is why I have the Hawks winning in 7.
I want to rock with my Georgia boys. I want to, and I want to rock with my Georgia boys.
You hopped on the bandwagon round 2, and now you're hopping off as soon as it's over.
I never claimed to be a fan.
Ride it till the wheels fall off.
I never claimed to be a fan of the Hawks. I never claimed to be a fan of the Nets. Every time I brought up I'm a fan, I'm a bandwagon, I tell you I'm Warriors. I don't have my Warriors paramelo right on or merch on right now, but come on, I never claimed to be a fan. All I'm saying is I want Trae Young to succeed. I rock with the Migos. I rock with Quavo. Their album was tough. I rock with Trae Young. I rock with John Collins. And Trae Young's an amazing player, and I want him to win this. Just so Atlanta can have, just so my hometown can have some sort of merit with them in the sports world. Because right now we look lost, especially with the Julio trade. I told you Trae Young was the new 11 in Atlanta. I told you that. But we get down to the nitty gritty. Giannis, 2-time MVP, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a better rebounder. We talked about the scoring. You bring up the scoring. I tell you, they're averaging the same points. Trae Young makes it look prettier. I'm telling you, Trae Young's players are a little bit worse than the Bucks, and Trae Young's players are catered for him to score around him.
So the Bucks should have won this game, I'm hearing.
No.
Okay then.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Giannis is a better player. Trae Young will have a better series due to the fact that he's catered around more than Giannis is catered around based off his role players. Now, Holiday's taking points from Giannis. Middleton, in some regards, is taking shots from Giannis. Giannis doesn't need 35 shots like Trae Young to average 30. Come on now.
Okay. Now look. Before we close, I will say, I want the Hawks to win in 7. I believe the Hawks will win in 7. I won't be mad if the Bucks win because the Bucks are the better team. The Bucks should win this series, but I believe in Trae Young more than I do the Bucks. And I know Budenholzer should be fired regardless if the Bucks win this championship or not. Budenholzer, you can't be playing Jeff Teague 5 minutes when you see Pat Connaughton can't throw it in the ocean, and you see Bryn Forbes and where did Bryn Forbes go when he was to give Drew Holiday a break, put Jeff Teague in, have him get a shot at Trae Young because Drew Holiday couldn't guard him. Budenholzer, you don't make adjustments. You don't maximize the talent around you, and you just sit and watch the game. Budenholzer's a good coach. He can get another coaching job somewhere. But it's time for a new face in Milwaukee because they're about to blow this one shot they have at winning a championship. And then Budenholzer will just be sitting there yelling, putting up four fingers like he always does. Budenholzer, that play doesn't work. The Hawks read it every time. But look.
Wait. Let me ask you one more question. So you're telling me if the Bucks win a championship, they should fire the coach?
Yes, 100%. 100%. 100%. But look, I will say before we close, even if the Hawks win the chip, nothing will make up for that 28-3 Falcon Super Bowl. Nothing will make up for that. Nothing. Right. But that's all we have for today. Thank you guys
for
tuning
bring that up
and watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tap that bell.